quitting. Texas Instruments is not yet traded. Now that he is a free man, what is next for O.J. Simpson? It is doubtful that advertisers will sign him up in the near future, but there are other alternatives for the football hero. He's already applied for a trademark license for his nickname, O.J. If approved, he'll collect fees for the usage of those two letters on clothing and other paraphernalia. Joining us today from our Midtown Manhattan studios is Advertising Age reporter Michael Wilkie. He recently wrote a story about Simpson's options after the trial. Good morning, Michael, and welcome.
Good morning.
Simpson's options, I take it, have to be more or less away from Madison Avenue?
That's correct. I spoke with a number of people who are in the ad community, particularly those who target African Americans, and the consensus was no one would be interested at this point or for some time in the future in having him as a spokesman. Even
those that target African Americans, since it has been obvious since the verdict and in the polls before the verdict that the nation did split significantly along racial lines here, and African Americans were solidly in support of Simpson.
Yeah, it was a little surprising, I suppose. The point that was made was that Simpson was never really considered significantly part of the African American community based on his marketing to the general market. Mm-hmm. And because of that, he wouldn't be considered really someone to use targeting African Americans at this point. It's actually rather simple.
Mm-hmm. What about this pay-per-view thing that's people have been kicking around?
Well, it's been talked about off and on for some time. As I understand it, he is still looking for such a situation. I would think he's probably looking pretty hard right now just because the timing is ideal. As far as I know, though, I haven't heard anything about any specifics just yet as to who he may actually have such a deal with and how much he may make, but it's probably his best money-making opportunity right now.
There is a market, though, is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone would be still interested in hearing what he has to say, seeing as how he really hasn't spoken yet. But there's also a deal recently announced, I understand, with St. Martin's Press to publish his next book. This is a different publisher than the one who published his first book, I Want to Tell You.
Last question. Now, I realize that, obviously these are not totally similar situations, but, people have been reconstituted in public life. Richard Nixon and his terrible disgrace, Klaus von Bülow, kind of similar to the O.J. situation. So
Marion Barry.
Marion Barry.
Sure.
So you really can't write this guy off, can you?
Well, it seems to be the common wisdom among publicists or PR gurus that after a while the public forgets. It may be quite some time, but I suppose it's not impossible that somewhere down the line something could change. But It doesn't appear to be the case any time in the near future, primarily not just because of the verdict and people's personal opinions, but also because of some of the other details that came out of the case in terms of the wife beating and other things.
Okay, Michael, thank you very much. We appreciate your thoughts. Michael